United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres is in Kenya's capital Nairobi for a two-day official visit, and today at the UN headquarters in Nairobi he met delegates and different heads of UN agencies. But when he was speaking to the press, his focus was mainly in the Sudan crisis, because now this is where he insisted that the fighting must stop with immediate effect.
Khartoum is in turmoil. Darfur is burning once again. And the UN Refugee Agency has already affirmed that more than 100,000 people have fled and 800,000 people might flee the country in the coming days and weeks. The fighting needs to stop, and to stop now.
For the neighbouring countries that are bordering Sudan, he said that humanitarian agencies are always on standby to help those who are actually escaping the war-torn areas. So the neighbouring countries are actually being given the support the UN can offer for now, because the resources are actually being overstretched, according to many of those representing these countries.
UNHCR is now very active in all neighbouring countries in order to support, obviously in close cooperation with the authorities of those countries, the refugees that are coming out. We have, as I mentioned, UNHCR has already estimated that more than 100,000 people have fled the country, and they did their contingency planning for 800,000 people in order to be able to respond to a major outflow if the conflict goes on.
He also focused on the climatic change in the Horn of Africa and urged all agencies involved to actually step up in making sure that famine and humanitarian crisis is actually sorted, because the issues, including conflict, is affecting so many people around the Horn of Africa.
We have a comprehensive drought response plan for East African countries, with a component for Kenya, in which all the UN agencies have been involved, in which we have made a very strong financial appeal to the international community, and in which we are doing everything we can to minimize the dramatic impacts of the drought.
In his closing remarks, he said he is confident that the crisis in Sudan will be sorted out as soon as possible, and has urged the two warring generals to actually sit down and have a peaceful consensus for the sake of Africa and, of course, for the sake of the people of Sudan. Nick Mudimba, CGTN, Nairobi, Kenya.